Everyone loves a great adrenaline rush, but some rides are so heart-stoppingly scary that only the brave dare to go on them. Coming up, we travel around the world to show you some of the scariest rides ever constructed, including the famous Insanity ride found at the Stratosphere, Hersheypark's Fahrenheit, and Cedar Point's Maverick. Join us as we travel around the world to show you some of the scariest rides ever created. The Stratosphere, Insanity. This is one ride that's not for anyone with a fear of heights. When you board Insanity, located in Las Vegas, you're placed in an individual seat and strapped in securely. But seriously, make sure that you check those straps, because you're about to be dangled 900 feet in the air. Once you're strapped in all nice and tight, you're held 64 feet over the edge of the Stratosphere Tower, which is approximately 900 feet off the ground. Then you're placed at a 70-degree angle, so that all you see is the ground below. Are you having fun yet? And if that's not enough, next they spin you around at 40 miles per hour, like a centrifuge. So try your best not to vomit on all the pedestrians walking below. With all of these facts, there's no wonder that it's called Insanity. You'd have to be insane just to willingly board this heart-stopping death trap. Six Flags Magic Mountain, the X2. Deemed the world's first four-dimensional ride, it leaves nothing to be desired. X2 opened at Six Flags Magic Mountain, located in Los Angeles, in 2002, and has been giving thrill seekers a run for their money ever since. It was briefly closed down in 2007 to make the already fantastic beast of a ride even better, and appropriately, they renamed it X2. Once you board the train, you soon realize that it's not really a normal roller coaster. The seats famously move off the track, spinning you upside down, forward and backward, throughout the ride and giving you that additional dimensional effect. While you're busy trying to hold down your turkey leg and Dole Whip, you'll be experiencing a 215-foot drop, going through tunnels, and seeing flame-throwing special effects. This ride is one that offers both adrenaline and mind-bending illusions. The Fuji-Q Highland, Eejanaika. This ride, which you can find at Fuji-Q Highland in Fuji-Yoshida, Japan, appropriately translates to, "Hey, what the hell?" Most likely because that's what you'll be saying when you realize what you just got yourself into. This is the second four-dimensional ride, with X2 being the first, but it's not any less terrifying. While the inspiration and the wacky things that it does to you come from the X2, it's definitely not the same ride. Similarly, it features a 360-degree turn that the X2 has, but this ride is longer and taller than the X2. Oh, and also, it was named the roller coaster with the most inversions by the Guinness Book of World Records. Measuring at 250 feet tall, it's the 7th tallest roller coaster worldwide. So, if you're able to pull yourself together enough, you can even see Mount Fuji for a brief moment at the top. You know, at the top, before you plummet to your near death. Hersheypark, Fahrenheit. This is one ride that may not be as sweet as all that delicious milk chocolate that Hersheypark has been known for, but it sure is a rush. When you hop on board this coaster, you'll be jolted 121 feet in the air and then immediately forced right back down at a 97-degree negative drop. The drop is so much that riders can't even see the track, so it looks like you've flown right off course. That famous drop is what earned this coaster the title of the steepest roller coaster drop in the United States. But wait, there's more. You'll also go through a 107-foot inverted loop, 2 inverted corkscrews, and high-speed curves, among other twists and turns. Like any great ride, waiting in line is the longest part, because Fahrenheit only takes a little less than a minute and a half of your time. Cedar Point Maverick. This gut-wrenching ride is a Midwest favorite. Just 4 days before it was set to open, the park manager, John Hildebrandt, postponed its debut due to worn-down pieces of track that occurred after the second test run. They had to re-examine the coaster, as that part of it put a lot of stress on the trains and their passengers. But a few adjustments later, it opened on May 26th of 2007. When boarding, you'll be in one of two trains. One train will begin its journey while the other waits patiently behind it. Whatever train you're on, you'll have the same experience. This will entail a 100-foot drop at a 95-degree angle, speeds of up to 57 miles per hour, twists and turns, a 74-foot airtime hill, 2 360-degree corkscrews, and a tunnel where you reach a speed of 70 miles per hour with special effects. And last but not least, water bombs. Lasting a whopping 2.5 minutes, this high-velocity ride is certainly terrifying enough to earn the title of one of the scariest rides in the world. Six Flags Great Adventure, Kingda. Now this is a high-speed coaster that's no joke. In fact, it's 151 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty and can be seen from miles away. Once you're strapped in tight, you'll hear a voice telling you to put your arms down, your head back, and to hold on. And that's your warning, and for good reason. From there, the train goes from 0 to 128 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds, which forces the train 456 feet, or 45 stories into the air, and spirals down 418 feet. Lastly, the train takes you over a 129-foot hill, makes a left turn, and then rolls into the station. The ride only goes on for 28 seconds from start to finish, but it forces your body to experience both negative and positive G-force. One could say that this coaster is a real brain twister. Dreamworld, the Tower of Terror 2. The Tower of Terror 2 is appropriately named and costed $16 million to build, which is certainly something to be afraid of. Now, this isn't your average board and ride kind of attraction. It actually begins with little effort on your part. All you have to do is walk your way through to the ride, which includes walking inside a 36-foot tall skull, going through a tunnel where you have to walk 270 degrees counterclockwise, crossing a bridge with a model city below, and then climbing some stairs. After which, you'll be led into a waiting room, 14 people at a time, asked to queue up, and then proceed to the main event. After being strapped into the escape pod, where you go from 0 to 100 miles per hour in 7 seconds, it travels a whopping 676 feet before jolting you up and down a 90-degree angle, giving you the feeling of weightlessness. Then it goes back into a horizontal position, snaps your picture, and pulls into the station. While terrifying, it's definitely a ride for thrill seekers. But you'll have to go to the Dreamworld amusement park in Queensland, Australia to partake. Six Flags New England, the Superman. According to its name, you'll feel like Superman in action when you hop on board, but I'm not quite sure why you'd want to after hearing what it does. After strapping into one of 34 available seats, the coast begins climbing at the 208-foot lift hill. And then off to the left, you'll be able to see a gorgeous view of the Connecticut River. Though, once you reach the top, you'll be plummeting 221 feet into a tunnel, which reaches 77 miles per hour. Once you're out of the tunnel, you go up another hill and then drop, taking a 120-degree turn to the right. Then you'll go through cutouts of buildings, and after a few more big drops, you get your picture taken, drop through the famous S-shields, go through 2 helixes, and then over a few small hills. Travel through a foggy tunnel, and then over a few more bunny hills and make another right-hand turn back into the station. After you take a trip on this ride, it will leave you to wonder how Superman really does it. Thorpe Park, Colossus. Located in Surrey, England, this coaster is the scariest ride in all of England, and you're about to see why. After being securely buckled in, the train leaves the station to travel up the lift hill. Then it makes a loud rattling sound and whips around to the left, passing through a vertical loop. The train then drops below the exit and the gift shop, followed by a sharp upwards thrust into a tight cobra roll. Then, after exiting the cobra, the train goes to the left, enters 2 corkscrews that barely graze the ground at 50 miles per hour, and creates an intense effect. After a picture, the train begins chugging up a curve that has 4 heartline rolls waiting for the riders. Oh, and the other thing is that they're only 10 feet above the pathway, frightening riders and pedestrians alike. After a final slight turn to the left, The train appears to be pulling into the station, but then Colossus says JKLOL and throws one more inversion in there that makes the riders nearly hit the surrounding foliage before pulling into the station. This unexpected coaster will certainly throw any thrill seeker for a loop. This is just some of the scariest rides that we've uncovered. Have you ever been on any of them, or have we left some out? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.